want to relay my driving experience with this 2022 Nissan Sentra. It's a rental. I've had about 16 hours on it driving up from DC to Wisconsin, and I actually like it. It's a 4-cylinder engine, just under 150 horsepower, weighs just over 3,000 pounds. And I'll tell you, the really good part of this car is that when it's automatic, it's a rental, when you hit the gas, you want to go a little faster, you're normally cruising around like 2,500 RPM. It's going to shoot right up to 4,500 and get you that power that you need. I actually, before doing this, looked at a couple of reviews online, and people were saying that this was slow, it was not good on the highway in traffic, and I actually disagree with that. I think maybe they're talking about an earlier Sentra, but the 2022 I think has a good amount of pickup, so I actually like it. Now, there's a couple things that I want to go over that are going to be kind of not so good. Right? First of all, when you have your stalk on for the lights to be automatic, what happens is that when you shut it down, the lights will stay on. Now, I think what happens is they come off eventually, but I don't like that because I shut the car off, I go away to do something. I don't want to really trust that they're going to go off. I kind of want to see them go off, so I always end up just turning them off. The other thing that I'm going to knock this car on is visibility. So in these blind spot areas and directly in the back, it doesn't have a lot of great visibility, but it has these blind spot little sensors, so that whenever the car's in your blind spot on either side, you get like a yellow flash here, and that's kind of handy to have. It also has the reverse mirror, so that if you're parking, even though you don't have great visibility in the back, it has the reverse camera, so that's kind of nice. Now, this thing in here is not great because, number one, there's no built-in navigation. I would expect for 2022 to have this have its own built-in navigation. Yeah, you can plug in a phone, but it's just not the same. The other thing is, when you're driving, it comes on, and I can't figure out how to turn it off, because sometimes when I'm driving, it doesn't have the navigation, so I don't necessarily want to see anything here. I just want a plain black screen like this, but I can't turn it off, not that I could readily see. While we're on the bad stuff, this is actually even a little bit more important. The seats here are not that comfortable. So in my Dodge Ram pickup, I can go 20 hours and my butt is comfortable. This seat, in less than 2 hours, my butt gets kind of sore, and I got to kind of do the whole reposition thing. The other thing that's not great about the seats, especially, is for the passenger, because in the passenger seat, if you look at this closely, let me just get it open. On the passenger side, this headrest seems to be like in a locked position. Usually it lets you like go up and rotate it, but it's not. And as you can see, it angles in like way too far. So in our case, we had people coming up here, and now I'm the passenger. I can't really sleep like this. Look at my neck, right? Unless I pull the seat way back, but still my neck is at this angle. So now you got your passenger sleeping like this or in here, and that's just not comfortable for a longer trip like this. However, I'm going to go with some other good stuff right quick, and that's the mileage. It's very good. 29 city, 39 highway, and it's about just under a 12.5 gallon tank. So there's not that many fill-ups that it needs to have for going a long distance. So the mileage is great. It's going to save you a lot of money. Now let's look under here, under the hood, and if you can see that, it doesn't take much to see that this is a very complicated, compact mess. This is not something that I would look forward to working on, DIYing on myself. So keep that in mind. I'm not sure what the reliability ratings are on this car. I'm just relaying this as my driving experience, but I do like to maintain my own vehicles, and this looks like it's going to be kind of messy and hard to get to stuff. So with that said, I will say that the driving experience, I just want to reiterate, to me was great. The handling was good, not spectacular, it was good. I kind of compare this a little bit to one of the most fun cars I've owned, which was a 2000 Jetta V6. Now that Jetta V6 was about the same weight. It had a little bit more horsepower, but the handling on that one was just, I mean, I could throw it on almost any turn. They're both front wheel drive. I could throw it in about any turn and it would just take it, no problem. This doesn't have quite that level of handling, but I would say the acceleration compares pretty favorably, especially when I'm here, let's say I'm on the shoulder, I had to go to the bathroom, and I got to get back into traffic quickly, and I don't want to wait for a long gap. I hit the gas and boom, I'm up to highway speed in a very acceptable time frame. So my overall driving experience of this is pretty favorable, but then again, I was doing mostly the driving, but when I was the passenger, I could not find a way to relax and get to sleep. So what I ended up doing, because the seat was so bad, I ended up just like putting my head down here and just kind of stretching the back of my neck. Maybe there's a way to adjust that. I couldn't figure it out quickly, so it's just not simple, it's not intuitive. But overall, I think it could be a good little fun car to drive, and it's not that expensive. I think this lists you for just under 20 grand, so it's not an expensive car for, I think, what you're getting. Look into the reliability of it, etc. If you're interested in it. That's just my experience having driven it.